Welcome to another episode of my podcast, That's Fine With Me. Today we're going to be talking about 2016 era, and it's coming back in 2026. Probably you've been seeing a lot of different videos coming from influencers and probably YouTubers that are sharing their experience from 2016 with their makeup looks or maybe some vlogs. And you're like, is it really back? The era is back? Or is just another trend for TikTok to participate in? Because I do actually see a lot of other influencers who were not around in 2016 or were literally kids in 2016, and they're like, let me participate in this era, 2016. I actually remember 2016 really well. I was probably like 20 years old or 2021. And yeah, that was really cool. A lot of interesting makeup looks. I started learning about makeup in a little bit more in-depth kind of way. So let's just get started with Nikita Dragun, because she hopped on this opportunity right in the late, December, where she posted a video with makeup tutorial and she was walking around the streets in a beautiful gown. And a lot of people started speculating that she's coming back, and well, it's not even a speculation, she is coming back. And then later I found out that she wasn't posting her socials for like a long period of time. She posted about 6 posts in 2024, and that was for like 6-month period of time. I was like, okay, I'm pretty like, I don't really care. I was never a huge fan of Nikita Dragun, not because I didn't really like her, it's just because I didn't really see her videos. They were not, I guess, pushed to me, and I watched some other influencers. That was the reason. Practically I didn't actually know about Nikita because during this era, YouTube era, only I guess closer to 2017, maybe 2018, a lot of YouTubers, they were collaborating and they were going from one channel to another, and that was the main reason how I actually learned about Laura Lee, Nikita Dragun, about who else? Tati, by the way, who else? Emma Chamberlain, and so on and so forth. That was the main reason I was like, not always a huge fan of other YouTubers. I just had my favorite ones, and I got stuck with them, like in a good and a positive way. And of course, like, I started doing my research, like what really happened. I didn't really know about it. I knew that she had her own brand, but I knew that it was closed. I didn't know what time that was closed and whatsoever. So turned out she, in 2022, ended up in jail because she was staying in some hotel, and security stuff, they called the police and they said that she was doing a lot of, distortion and around the hotel. That was the main reason why they couldn't calm her down. And when the police arrived, turned out that she was pouring a lot of stuff with water from the pool and was probably like walking around the pool naked. And then they walked her to her room, and she was again having some conversation with the police officers. They mentioned that if she poured them with water that she will go to jail, and she didn't really want to listen, so she actually ended up in jail for some period of time. And there was some drama and scandal that she was put in a men's unit, but the facility was denying these allegations. I mean, like the whole drama. I don't really want to dive into this. It's not about Nikita Dragun. Today's video is not about Nikita Dragun. It's basically about 2016 and what really happened. But it actually made me think that, yeah, this new trend, will definitely stir up some drama and probably get some influencers that were not so popular or visible, or they just like a little bit stepped down onto a map, like on radar, and we're gonna find some information from them. So of course, lots of them started posting their old videos, and they were posting their old photos, which is really cool. I mean, like nostalgic feeling. We're talking about nostalgia on this channel. I don't really think that's a bad idea. But what is so interesting about this whole thing? Like, why is 2026 is a new 2016? Because in 2025, I remember there was trend going around where people were like, oh, let's do makeup like in 2015. And a lot of us were actually recreating this 2015 era makeup, which I participated in as well. And it didn't really change much. I mean, when we had this trend in 2025 about 2015, still 2016 makeup is relatively close to a 2015 makeup. That is the main reason, like, what was the point? I thought, like, what was the real point of doing this? So I think that's just my wild guess that in 2015, YouTube era was still not a thing. Like, yeah, of course, a lot of YouTubers, they started in 2011. Some of them started in 2008. But let's be real, 2016 was the time where it just exploded. All of these YouTubers, they exploded. Everyone were interested in all this, makeup and different brands, collaborations. That was it. That was an it girl era of YouTube, I would say. So yeah. And it's funny to say, but 2016 is relatively close to 2018 or 2019, where this whole drama with, you know who? this is the name you can't pronounce, like a Voldemort. No, it's just James Charles, Tati, and Jeffree Star. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, Shane Dawson and so many more to them participated in a huge scandal in 2019. So that is the main reason why a lot of the times people proclaim this drama as the end of YouTube era, because it caused major controversy. It caused major breakdown of a community. And we're like, okay, now we're so done with influencers. We're not going to watch them participate in whatever. So like, if you try to watch James Charles videos now versus James Charles videos 2018, I guess, pre-drama, I guess, videos, you could see a drastic shift in his viewerships. But he's still thriving. He has his own brand. He still has a lot of things to share and talk about on his channel. And like, the thing here is that 2020 was a pandemic. So just the pandemic started, but like basically 2019, actually, it was wildly, madly spreaded in China, and only in 2020 it got to like other countries. For my country, and I'm from Russia, we started pandemic around, I guess, March of 2020, and I guess same time it was in the United States and the rest of the world, like Europe and whatsoever, like Africa, and that's a continent. I know, like, just let's move on. The point here is that actually TikTok as a platform was born in 2016. The international TikTok was launched in 2017, and no one really cared about TikTok. Like 2016, 2017, that was a YouTube era, and everyone cared about YouTube influencers. And of course, TikTok was irrelevant. No one really cared about this. Like, everyone lived their social life. Everyone cared about their favorite influencers, their favorite YouTubers, makeup brands, and whatsoever. So when this whole drama with James Charles, Tati, and Jeffree Star unleashed, along with the entire pandemic situation that was in 2019, late 2019 and early 2020, I mean, people were so sick of YouTube in general that they started looking for some other platforms. And here comes TikTok. TikTok was really handy in 2020 because a lot of new people were discovered. People just wanted to make a little bit more fun of tutorials, like discovering some new products, doing some other reviews, and short form content was exploding because people were not only tired of this long form content from YouTube, they were just tired of this entire drama, and that was a lockdown. The only thing that people were left with, it was basically internet. Of course, people were watching YouTube. I mean, like, basically, yeah. But beauty industry and beauty space on YouTube was so popular that I guess there was the leading, I guess, section or like industry that took over internet in general, because money were there. Most, I guess, influential people still were there, and a lot of teenagers, they were discovering their new ways to learn makeup, how to do makeup. And of course, that was just like when YouTube was a prime age. They started, I guess, in 2007, if I'm mistaken, YouTube started. And of course, no one actually cared about YouTube. No one really thought that it's going to explode this way, because it was basically like random videos from random people who had no good cameras, who had no script, and they were just like sharing some thoughts. And people were like, okay, it's just like probably a nice idea for someone to share. They'd be like, why would I do this for free? And when people just started discovering that there are going to be affiliate links, there are going to be some really cool brands, they're going to collaborate later, only by, I guess, 2012 or maybe 2013, people discovered this really cool idea that I can actually earn from making my own videos, sitting at home and doing whatever I want. So yeah, that was the main reason why, like, people love this. And TikTok still started strong, I guess, in 2019 or 2020, but it was launched in 2016, 2017 internationally. Of course, maybe they were lacking a little bit of PR, and they were lacking a little bit of, this influencers. But it's really funny, guys. When all this drama happened on YouTube, and a lot of executives, they were kind of like dragged into this mess with beauty influencers, and Tati talked about that in her podcast, that she was forced to talk to executives, and she was threatened that her platforms, James' platforms and Jeffree's platforms, they're going to be blocked, or I don't know, had some consequences of their actions. When people were so fed up with influencers, and when people were like tired of this and exhausted of this drama and drama channels, because it was not only about Jeffree and James' study, but still there was still a lot of drama going around. That's why people were so exhausted and tired of it that they went to a new platform, TikTok, which was new, refreshing, with new faces, with new algorithm. And you were like, oh, so let me find out about this new platform. And of course, a lot of YouTubers, they switched from YouTube to TikTok, and now they are TikTokers. Like, for example, Jacqueline Hill, she was so like a YouTuber of the era, and now she's constantly on TikTok and Instagram basically, as well as I would say probably Carly Bible. She doesn't post that frequently, but still she's more or less frequent on YouTube. Nika Tutorials, she doesn't really post much on YouTube, but I kind of get it. They said that they had their burnouts in the way because they were filming this long tutorials over and over again. And TikTok, they had this really cool idea that you can actually edit videos from your phone and real quick just like show something, post it, and it's going to give you millions of views. Yeah, that is really interesting concept that YouTube didn't have at the time. And YouTube came with this short form thing only by, I guess, what 2021? Yeah, I guess 2021 was the time when they came up with this short form content. And I guess this is really popular on YouTube right now because this is giving you the engagement. It's giving you the idea that you can actually do something in a short period of time. So you're kind of like not wasting people's time and you're creating something quite fast, but still giving some knowledge to people. Though, I mean, there's so much trash still on TikTok and YouTube with the short form content because you can't actually choose what you're willing to watch. If like YouTube was a thing when you could type in like a makeup tutorial or like how to, I don't know, charge a phone, whatever, then with shorts or reels or whatever, you don't really have a chance to pick. The algorithm picks videos for you. And most of the time, they're so dumb. I just can't watch TikTok for a long period of time because there's some really cool videos. They're very informative and they're really interesting. And most of the videos is just like girls or boys saying some weird stuff. And you don't really know, is it the smartest thing they've ever had in their mind or in their brain or the stupidest thing in their brain. You just don't really know that. So yeah, I think that the TikTok rise is basically something that led to the point where new people were discovered. But now, let's say like 7 years later, when was it? 2019? Yeah, like 7-8 years later. Now people are so fed up of this influencers. They're still pushing a lot of different products on TikTok, and now they're not new faces. And now it's so much harder to become popular on TikTok that people are like, oh, I'm so nostalgic about this 2016 era when you just could, log in, turn on I don't know, a video that is going to be like 20-minute long and lie in your bed, do nothing, watch your favorite influencer, listen to their thoughts, and that's going to be it. That is the main reason, like, that is my thought, that this era is so popular right now. 2016, new 2026 is a new 2016 is because it's still not a massive dramatic timing of 2018, 2019, early 2020. And it's still relatively a popular time with cool makeup looks, with your favorite celebrities, with your favorite makeup artists and influencers. So I think that is the main reason why it's so magical. I know you're probably just not gonna love this idea, but I heard from some astrologers a year ago, literally a year ago, when they were talking that people are going to be more conscious about their purchases. And I hear it now everywhere that people are so tired of this constant product reviews, product, shoving in your faces and wealth flaunted in your faces with, again, same TikTokers. It's so funny because this was like, TikTok was a new audience with new kids who didn't really care about YouTube probably. And then they started this TikTok short form content and they started watching this influencers who came from YouTube to TikTok and they didn't really know a background. They didn't know the history of this, let's say, YouTubers. And that was the main reason why it just blew up, because similar influencers who already had, resources, who had money and in some ways fame. So they actually brought some people from YouTube to TikTok and they started subscribing rapidly. And that was the main reason, like, they had this foundation, they had this base that led them to grow even faster and to grow bigger. Where, like, still TikTok had a lot of, again, people who were very new, and like Michaela Nogueira, she was, I don't know, like a student when she started her TikTok, or I don't even know who she was, but look at her now. Look at her now. Controversy over controversy, constant product launch, constant product, commercial. Most of these commercials are not even true, because like Lashgate and this Christmas haul or like Angel Tree. And you're like, now I think that fame and money, they're corrupting everyone, except for like, I know a couple of people. For example, like, I'm a huge fan, and you know this, of Carly Bible. I really love her attitude. I really love that she's not into any kind of drama. She's kind of staying really far from all of it. And that's what I really like about Carly, that she's minding her own business, but she's still thriving because she's doing some makeup looks. She switched to some outfits. Now she's more into styling. And that's really cool for her. I really like her. That is the reason, like, I think there's still very decent people out there that you should follow. There's still a lot of people that are interesting, that are really, I guess, nice to you. And there's still a lot of people that were corrupted by fame, like James Charles. Still, when he had this drama and all this problem, you have to give it to him. You still have to give it to him. He's very consistent with his YouTube channel. I mean, though he doesn't really get that many views that he used to have on YouTube, he's still very consistent with every single platform, and you can't take it for him. Because, you know, again, Nikki Tutorials and Carly Bible, as well as Jacqueline Hill, they're not consistent at all. They're not posting on YouTube. And he's like, with all this backlash, with all of that, he's still posting. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I unsubscribed, but I know that he's still posting because I watch some drama channels and they're talking about his new videos or whatsoever. So yeah, I think that is the main reason why 2026 is going to be 2016, because people are, again, they're so tired of this constant launches and this, you know, weird talking when a bottle of water can cost like $400 and an influencer is pushing this to you. Because like in YouTube days, you couldn't do undisclosed ads, you couldn't do a lot of things, and people wouldn't buy some shitty thing like a $400 bottle of water, even if that's a favorite influencer. You know, it's like, it was weird. Most of this was related to some actual makeup products. But right now, you know, I can see why people are so tired of TikTok. And I think it's just, it's natural. When you've been following someone or have been doing something on, like, same YouTube for a long period of time, like 7 years or 10 years, you know, sometimes your subscribers, they're getting tired of you, or just platform in general, as well as maybe an influencer is getting tired and there's something new. That's why they're going to a new platform, because it's different and they're learning about this platform. But it's been like 7 years or like 8 years since TikTok blew up. That's why people are like a little bit tired of it. And Instagram wasn't it ever. It was, yeah, popular when it launched and it was very, you know, cool maybe idea, but Instagram was never a cool thing for me. I was always more about YouTube or TikTok or any of it. So yeah, probably there's going to be another platform. What do we think, guys? Is there going to be any other platform? Because basically TikTok is a prototype of Rednote. So the founder of TikTok is ByteDance. This is a tech company, Zhang Yiming. And he, as I mentioned this earlier, launched this in 2016, like a Chinese version, and international in 2017. That is the main reason, like, I mean, probably they're going to be another platform soon enough, because you remember how big was Facebook, and I always hated Facebook. I'm too, I guess, stupid to use this platform. I don't really understand how to use it, and it was always just a little bit weird for me. It's not really popular in Russia, I would say. So I guess, why not? There might be some other platform that's going to blow up really soon, or maybe there is a platform that is existing right now, but we just don't really know about that because it's like in some PR and marketing. What do you think, guys? But I do actually hope that 2026 is going to be this cool new era, especially like late December, when a lot of articles came out with this bold and bright topics, like, that's going to be colorful here, like makeup is coming back. And what is the best era to compare 2026, like new 2026, than 2016? I mean, like, it's meant to be, guys. It's actually meant to be. I love you all so much, and I'm going to see you in my next podcast. That's fine with me. If you're interested, you can actually share your experience, or you can actually share your thoughts down in the description box. I have a mail, and you can anonymously send me your experience or anything you want to share. But I would say that it's probably not going to be anonymous if you send me a letter, but I'm not going to mention your name if you don't want me. If you really want to share some thoughts and you want to be mentioned, just write down, mention my name, something like this, and I'm going to mention you guys, and I'm going to talk about this in my podcast. I love you all so much, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye-bye. By the way, let me know, what do you think about this new setup? Because I'm filming on my phone camera right now, and do you like the angle? Do you like the lighting? I think it's so much better than it used to be like a week ago, but I'm still waiting for your comments. Love you all so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.